It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Prime Ticket presents the Dodgers as they take on the Angels. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Saturday night to you, wherever you may be. Second game of the three-game series. Dodgers still with a great record at home, but the Angels make themselves very much at home here at Dodger Stadium. By winning last night, the Angels have now won 20 of the last 27 games played here between the two teams. Nevertheless, the Dodgers still in first place, albeit tied with San Diego, and the Angels now only a half a game behind the Texas Rangers. Dodgers tonight will start young John Eli, and the Angels will counter with left-hander Scott Kazmir. By the way, the Dodgers are 8-8 against left-hand starters this year. We'll get to the ball game. We'll have it all coming up for you right after this.
Against anybody if they were coming to the plate, and then the huge home run against the Mets. Forget about it. Both good players, both outstanding managers.
And you take a look at the numbers as players, the batting average, and I guess the grit, the toughness that Scioscia, and we saw that in the video, he brings that to his managing style. By the way, Joe Torre, remember, was an Angel announcer for a while,
right,
in between managerial jobs.
Yes, he was. 9-time All-Star. I mean, just with he gets all the notoriety for his years as a manager, not only certainly here with the Dodgers, but with the New York Yankees and all those world championships. Man, 9-time All-Star. The guy can play.
We mentioned Hideki Matsui, and Manny Ramirez gets the night off. So what are you banking on to get the Dodgers through this to even the series?
Well, there's a lot of guys on the Dodgers that don't necessarily hit left-handed pitching all that well, even though they're right-handers. That's why you're seeing guys like Reed Johnson in the game. Manny, over his last 25 games, we told you earlier, he's hitting just a .191. He's hitting .211 this year against lefties. That's just not that good. Get him out of there tonight. He'll play the day game tomorrow.
Jamie Carroll is one of those guys who hits lefties well, and John Eli will be on the spot for the Dodgers, and we'll see afterwards for Dodgers Live. Enjoy the game.
Brought to you by your Southern California Hyundai dealers. Want more MPG? Hyundai has it. By Shakey's. This player has the highest lifetime batting average of .367. Go to Shakey's.com/trivia. By AT&T. TV, high-speed internet, home phone, and wireless. Visit ATT.com or call 1-800-PIC-ATT for details. And by Southwest Airlines. Go to Southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Saturday night to you, wherever you may be. Welcome to Dodger Stadium, the Beehive indeed, awaiting the start of Game 2 of the 3-game series as the Dodgers and the Angels battle it out. But more important than the game is ThinkCure's battle to defeat cancer. And again, we remind you, you can make your donation by a direct phone call, 866-554-CURE. You could visit us on thinkcure.org, or you can text CURE to 50555 to make instant $10 donations. A standard rate may apply on your phone bill. And by the way, our aim is $400,000. So far, $279,596 have been reached. With all that in mind, more serious than the game, but it is time to concentrate on the game. And here are the visiting Angels, with Eric Ibar opening up, followed by Howie Kendrick and Bobby Abreu. Torrey Hunter hits cleanup in center field. Maicia Izturis at third base. Juan Rivera cracks the lineup in left field. Mike Napoli is at first base. Bobby Wilson behind the plate. And yet Scott Kazmir on the mound. On the mound for the Dodgers, The young man out of Homewood, Illinois, 24-year-old John Eli, originally a third-round pick 3 years ago out of Miami of Ohio by the Chicago White Sox. And in case you forgot, just to refresh your memory, he came to the Dodgers along with John Link in the deal that sent Juan Pierre to the White Sox. Eli comes in with a record of 3-2, but a couple of dazzling stats about him that helped establish him in the rotation. He faced 89 consecutive batters without allowing a walk. He also went a little more than 50 innings without allowing a home run. And from the 6th of May to June the 1st, he had 6 straight so-called quality starts. His last game, he went 5, was not involved in the decision. Before the ball game gets underway, the plate umpire Jeff Nelson comes over to talk to, I believe, the ball boy, perhaps about a supply of baseballs, and in a moment we'll get it underway. Jeff Nelson puts his stamp on it as the plate umpire. He worked the 2008 National League Division Series between the Dodgers and the Cubs. And he was behind the plate when Mark McGwire hit his 500th home run. So the first pitch of the night, and Ibar hits it to left field. Reed Johnson goes back, makes the catch. So Ibar didn't hang around. 1 pitch and 1 away. But take a look at the Dodgers defensively. Johnson, Kemp, and Ethier. The infield of Blake, Furcal, Carroll, and Gloney. And the battery of Martin handling Eli. Howie Hendricks coming up. Hit a home run last night. Kendrick also had 2 singles and the home run. And the first pitch to Howie is off the plate. Ball 1. Interesting about the Angels and the home run. Last year, they had the best record in the major leagues, winning without a home run. The pitch to Kendrick in for a strike, 1-1. Their record in games last year without a home run, they were 29-30. And the next pitch in for a strike. In fact, for the last 3 years, the Angels have the best record by a total of 21 games without the use of a home run. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Kendrick, swung on, big chopper to short. Furcal throws on the run and gets him, and we have 2 down in the first inning. Another note about the Angels as we come to the number 3 hitter, Bobby Abreu. The numbers 3, 4, and 5 hitters for Mike Scioscia last night knocked in the first 8 runs in that 10-1 victory. The Dodgers 3, 4, and 5 hitters went 1 for 11. That was the home run by James Loney. And if you compare from 2 through 6 in the Dodger lineup, they were 1 for 18 combined. So Eli ready, Bobby Abreu takes off the plate, ball 1, 1-0. 2 out in the first inning, but another reminder to the Dodgers. Last night, all 10 Angel runs were scored with 2 outs in the inning. Eli works away to Abreu and runs the count, 2 balls and no strikes. John Eli 3-2. He was 3-1 in the month of May. Right-handed comes back 2-0, and Abreu looks at a strike. Bobby Abreu, a magnificent player, does everything well. Even at 36, he has stolen 9 bases. And the 2-1 pitch to Bobby, swung on, hit foul outside of third, deep into the crowd. 2-2 the count. Abreu, by nature, number 1, rarely if ever swings at the first pitch and usually gets deep into the count. Well, here he is, living up to his reputation. 2-2 the count. So Abreu waiting. Eli turns on the rubber, comes back to the 36-year-old inside. Almost hit him. Ball 3, 3-2. Abreu doing very well, especially early in the game. The numbers tell you that in the first 3 innings, he's hitting .372, and he hit 2 for 3 in the first couple of innings last night and takes ball 4. So a 2-out pass to Abreu, and that will bring up Torrey Hunter. Torrey Hunter hit on the elbow last night. As he said, it hit him right on the not-so-funny bone. He had a walk and a single, then he was nailed in the 5th inning. Then he had a bases-loaded clearing double and struck out in the 9th. A protective covering on that left elbow as Torrey checks in. The boy from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, who has certainly come a long way. Out of his stretch is Eli, and the pitch is swung on. Little ground ball to Furcall. Underhands it to Carroll, and that's that. No runs, no hits, a walk and a man left. And at the end of half an inning, Angels nothing, Dodgers coming up. Take a look at the Dodger lineup with Rafael Furcall, followed by Russell Martin with a left-hander on the mound. Martin hits second, Andre Ethier in right field, and Matt Kemp hits cleanup. James Loney at first base, Casey Blake at third, Reed Johnson in left field playing for Manny Ramirez, Jamie Carroll at second, and John Eli on the mound. On the mound for the Angels, Scott Kazmir, a Houston boy. He is 26 years old on the 25th of the month, an even 6, about 175. And at once upon a time, he was Mr. Baseball in Texas coming out of high school. At 23, he became the youngest American League strikeout champion since Frank Tanana with the Angels in 75, and the 8th youngest in American League history. Since 06, his 9.7 strikeouts per 9 innings leads the majors, but this year he slacked off a little. He's averaging 6 strikeouts per 9, and he comes in with a 5-5 record. And leading off, Rafael Furcall, who takes high, ball 1. Furcall is certainly not the threat that he is when he is hitting left-handed. Rafael from this side of the plate hitting .222. The 1-0 pitch is off the plate, ball 2. When he bats left-handed, Rafael brings up a .308 batting average. So Furcall facing Kazmir, and the 2-0 pitch on the way, fastball in there, 2-1. In the past, Furcall 1 for 4 against Kazmir. Now Scott into the windup, and his 2-1 pitch, that's high, ball 3, 3-1. One thing about Kazmir so far this year, he's a left-hand pitcher struggling against left-hand hitters. Left-hand batters are hitting .457 against him. The 3-1 pitch, Rafael takes a strike, 3-2. But Furcall, a switch hitter, bats right, so there are only 2 left-hand hitters in the Dodger lineup, Ethier and Loney. So Rafael, who opened up the game with a triple last night, trying to get the Dodgers started tonight, swings at the 3-2 pitch and comes up empty, and down he goes. So Furcall strikes out. Let's take a look now at the Angels defensively. Rivera, Hunter, and Abreu in the outfield. with his tourists, Ibar, Kendrick, and Napoli at first, and the battery of Kazmir and the catcher, Bobby Wilson. Jeff Mathis, by the way, we understand, rehabbing at Salt Lake City, blocked a pitch in the dirt and hurt his thumb, so it looks like Mathis will be set back for a while. Meanwhile, Mike Napoli playing first base, and you say, wait a minute, he's a catcher. The pitch now to Martin is on the corner for a strike. Napoli took over at first base the day after Kendry Morales broke his leg. He did play a little bit in the minor leagues. Curveball inside, 1-1. Everybody thought the wind would come out when the Angels lost Morales because he was leading in everything, but they have done remarkably well without him. The next pitch is swung on and missed, and Martin almost fell down, 1-2. Of course, losing Morales and still right there a half a game out of first place. Mike Scioscia, in reading a Dodger history book, might remember how Tommy Davis broke his ankle and replaced by Lou Johnson, and the Dodgers wound up champions in the World Series. 1-2 pitch on the way as a fastball popped in the air off to the right out of play. Still 1-2. So Russell Martin batting .258, 4 home runs, 13 runs batted in. Kazmir has a Cincinnati collection. We'll tell you about it in a moment. Here's the 1-2 pitch coming up, and Martin takes high. Scott's dad, Eddie Kazmir, works for a company which is owned by Ed Dunn, the father of Cincinnati Reds outfielder Adam Dunn, and of course Adam is now in Washington. So that's the connection. And Adam Dunn had a lot to teach Kazmir when they were kids throwing wiffle balls around. Martin fouls it away. In fact, Dunn said that he actually gave Kazmir his first lesson in pitching a wiffle ball when Scott was about 9 years old. Kazmir said he really didn't want to pitch. He played center field until he was about 12, and a community league coach saw that arm and said, no, you belong on the mound. Fastball to Martin is sliced back to first down the line, and it will drop fair. Retrieved by the right fielder Bobby Abreu. So Martin gets a gift. A little fly ball single just inside the chalk. And the batter coming up next will be Andre Ethier. A trio of Angels in pursuit, but it drops amongst the three and was retrieved by Abreu. So Martin gets himself the single. Napoli, Kendrick, and Abreu go back to their positions. And here is Andre Ethier. Ethier, talking about left-hand hitters, giving Kazmir a bad time. Andre is 1 for 3 against him. Not much to learn from that. Ethier batting .357, 11 home runs, 40 runs batted in. Kazmir set, Scott delivers, fastball for a strike, and the count 0-1. Ethier has been hitting the ball very well. He's been unfortunate, several line drives at people, robbed of an extra base hit last night by Rob Quinlan. 0-1 the count. Ethier waiting, Kazmir set. Left-hander comes back, fastball fouled away, and the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Ethier and Scioscia talking about last night, and I had to get my 2 cents into it by saying that Ethier wants a shorter first baseman tonight. Quinlan, 6'1", went up in the air to rob Ethier last night. Well, Napoli's shorter by an inch. He's 6. Strike 2 pitch on the way in the dirt. Nice block and save by Bobby Wilson, and the count 1-2. So Wilson has a big job alternating with Napoli while Jeff Mathis heals. And as we said, the Angels got a bit of a blow. Mathis hurting his thumb at Salt Lake City, so he might not get back as soon as they thought. 1 out, bottom of the first inning, no score. Kazmir set, Scott ready, a long look at first, and the pitch down and away. Kazmir, 6-footer, 170, working on Andre Ethier. Basically, fastball that he throws hard up to 97. a cutter, a curveball, a slider, a change. He even, they tell me, had a pitch called a knuckle split. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. Casimir comes back, fastball, outside, ball 3. He can throw hard, no doubt about that. A knuckle split. That really sounds like an Indian rubber man to hold on to that ball. 3-2 the count. With 2 out, Martin would be going with 1 out. Napoli's directly in front of him. A look over there by Casimir. Russell is not going, and the pitch is swung on and missed. So down goes Ethier. 2 out in the first inning, and Matt Kemp coming up. We talked about the fact that Casimir is not striking out 9 for 9 as he used to do. His high in strikeouts so far this year, 7. He's done that twice, but a lot of the other games, 5, 4, and 3. So Casimir with 2 strikeouts, now working on Matt Kemp. Kemp checking in 1 for 2 against Scott. Left-hander looking at Martin. Napoli off the bag, and the first pitch in for a strike, and the count 0-1. For the Angels, they're finishing up a 14-game road trip on a high note by winning last night. They've won 9 of 12 on the road. By losing last night, the Dodgers have still won 8 of 11 on their homestand. Now the strike 1 pitch on the way. Casimir comes back, fastball in there. That fastball at 94. You've heard of the high hard one. That was the hard low one. Fastball around the knees. Matt Kemp, tough night last night. Struck out twice, went 0 for 4. Casimir set, just stares over at Martin. And the strike 2 pitch on the way, inside at the shins, and a 1-2 count. That was a running fastball. That thing really had some late movement to it. Waiting on deck, James Loney. Even though left-handers this year hitting .457, it has to be a very uncomfortable trip to the plate for a left-hand batter. Now the 1-2 pitch to Kemp. Casimir ready. There goes Martin. The pitch is fouled away. It wasn't a bad time for Martin to go because Casimir really raised that right leg before delivering, and Martin got a reasonably good jump. So Russell back to first, and Kemp waiting 1-2. You can understand playing hit and run 2-1. You don't usually see it 1-2, especially with a free swinger like Kemp, who has struck out 67 times. Matt waiting, Casimir at the belt, looking at Martin. There he goes again. The pitch is swung on and missed. So Casimir strikes out the side in the first inning. No runs, a little fly ball single, and a man left. At the end of an inning, no score. The Angels and Dodgers. It'll be Macer Izturis, followed by Juan Rivera, and then Mike Napoli against John Eli in the second inning. Meanwhile, down south, Padres pulled one out last night against the Mariners, and the Padres are leading the Mariners 3-1 in the eighth inning tonight, trying to beat Cliff Lee. Among other things, Adrian Gonzalez has doubled in the tying run last night to keep the Padres afloat, has hit a 2-run home run in the first inning to get the Padres off and running to lead 3-1 now in the eighth inning. Macer Izturis, his half-brother Cesar Izturis. Macer hitting .253, 2 home runs, 14 runs batted in. John Eli gets up on top, working from the first base side of the rubber, and here we go in the second inning. Izturis hitting left-handed, and the first pitch to him is off the plate, ball 1. Izturis hitting .308 right-handed and .243 from this side of the plate. The 1-0 pitch, and that dips in nicely for a strike, and the count 1-1. So John Eli trying to win the second game of this series. Izturis lays off the pitch a little high. 2-1 the count. Eli, pretty good fastball, 12-6 curve. He has a change. He's also added a cutter to left-hand hitters. 2-1 fastball is smoked into left field for a base hit. So Izturis, a line drive single to left. Macer last night had a single and a double. So the single by Izturis, and that'll bring up Juan Rivera. We didn't see Rivera at all, but now he checks in at the plate. Rivera playing left field on Hideki Matsui's 36th birthday. So Juan getting himself squared away at the plate. He's from Venezuela, 32 years old in July, and big boy, 6'2", and 225. Throw to first, and Izturis back on the bag. Izturis inching off the bag again. He's stolen 4 out of 5. Held on by Loney. Eli leaning on the knee, now straightens up, set at the belt. John about ready and deals, and Rivera take low, ball 1. Juan hitting .237, 9 home runs, 27 runs batted in. Originally signed by the Yankees and came up with the Yankees 01, 02, 03. He was there with Joe. Then went to the Expos and finally to the Angels in 05. He's got some sock. He had 25 home runs last year, and he hit 23 in 06. Throw to first, not in time. You may remember last night, Russell Martin made a great throw and nailed Howie Kendrick in the 6th inning. And you can bet Kendrick can grin now, but not then. 2-0 the count. Again, Izturis off the bag, and Rivera waiting at the plate. Eli straightens up, set at the belt, looks over at first, comes back, ground ball to short. The feed to second, turned by Carroll, double play. So Rivera hits into the double play. 6-4-3, and with 2 down and the bases empty, Mike Napoli coming up. We didn't have time really to point it out, the fact that Rivera has 9 home runs, Napoli has 9 home runs, and when Kendry Morales was playing every day, the Angels had 5 men with 9 or more home runs. Napoli shies away, big slow curveball for a strike, and the count 0-1. Morales, Hunter, Matsui, Napoli, and Rivera, 9 or more. Of course, they've lost Morales. Strike 1 pitch on the way, fastball fouled away, 0-2. For the Angels, you'd have to go back 10 years to bring back the names of Gloss, Vaughn, Anderson, Salmon, and Erstad. to have 5 different guys with 9 or more home runs. So for Mike, he lost a very valuable card. Ground ball foul down to third. Still 0-2. Dino Adell handling that foul ball. Napoli, tough night last night. Struck out 4 times. And the strike 2 pitch on the way is taken high, ball 1. Of course, we saw young Jason Hayward strike out 5 times when Atlanta was here. Eli nods yes. And the 1-2 pitch to Napoli is foul back to the screen. 2 down, second inning, no score. Each side with a base hit. Izturis a line drive single to left. Martin a fly ball single to right. Now the 1-2 pitch on the way is swung on and fouled off. The concluding game of the series tomorrow, that would be Jared Weaver and Carlos Monasterios. Then the Dodgers go out on the road and Hiroki Kuroda will open up against the Reds. 1-2 the count. Eli ready, back he comes, big bouncer up the middle, behind second base goes Carroll, plenty of time to throw him out. No runs, a leadoff single, nobody left, and at the end of an inning and a half, no score. Game, the Dodgers and Angels, each side with 1 hit. Dodgers will have gained Loney, Casey Blake, and then Reed Johnson against the left-hander Scott Kazmir. And to repeat, the Dodgers are 8-8 against left-hand starters this year. Loney hitting .291, hit his 5th home run of the year last night in the 4th inning. He has 36 runs batted in, going 1 for 4 last evening. So Scott Kazmir, both feet on the rubber, looks down to get a sign, and we're heading for the bottom of the second. Scotty ready, comes to his hitter, and the first pitch a little low, ball 1, 1-0, though he starts Loney with a slider. When the Astros signed Kazmir after he left the Mets organization, he was back in Texas. Loney, meanwhile, hits a ground ball to the right side, fumbled by Kendrick, and throws in time to get him anyway. That's the luxury of playing second base. You can manhandle an easy ground ball, but if you keep it in front of you, you have a chance. Ball just came up, hit him in the pit of the stomach, and then Howie retrieved and got the throw over to Napoli just in time. So 1 away. So the batter now will be Casey Blake. Anywhere when Kazmir finally left the Mets organization, Left-hander deals away, ball one. He was compared to the hard-throwing left-hander Billy Wagner. And finally, when they met together, a Houston station had them on, and they talked about 20 minutes about pitching. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way. That's in for a strike, 1-1. And Scott said that Billy Wagner really helped him in preparing for a big league career. Kazmir was in high school when Wagner was pitching for the Astros. The 1-1 pitch, high and away, ball 2, 2-1. Casey batting .262. He has 7 home runs, 27 runs batted in. Scoreless, bottom of the second inning. Kazmir turns in the 2-1 pitch, fastball just outside, ball 3, 3-1. Blake waiting. Johnson on deck, and the pitch inside, ball 4. So Blake draws the walk with 1 out. Reed Johnson coming up. You know, the only way to see the Dodgers and Yankees is with a Dodger ticket plan. The plans start at $12 per seat, so you can buy today at Dodgers.com or call 866-DODGERS. So Reed Johnson giving Manny Ramirez a day off. Manny, by the way, was hitting .159 against Kazmir, so it's a welcome day off, I'm sure. Of course, the prospects of tomorrow are not that good. He's just 2 for 12 against Jared Weaver. Johnson, first ball swinging, pops it up. Going out to get it is Kendrick. Howie waits and makes the catch. So Johnson doesn't hang around long, pops it up. And we have 2 down, and Jamie Carroll coming up. Jamie Carroll doing a good job wherever they play him. Third, short, second, and swinging a good bat. Carroll hitting .289 with 10 runs batted in. He is 3 for 6 in the pass against Scott Kazmir. So Scott looks in to get a sign. Carroll waiting. And the left-hander looks over at first. A high kick, and he goes over there. And Casey Blake back on the bag. Casey Blake does not have a stolen base. And you have the pitcher, John Eli, on deck. Kazmir now comes to the plate. Fastball down and away. Ball 1, 1-0. So Jamie, the pride of Indiana, backs out for the moment. Hitting above what you would think is his career batting average in the 270s, and he's hitting .289. Kazmir set, very deliberate. Back he comes away. Ball 2, 2-0. Scott Kazmir in 2006, when he was an all-star, the big flash was that he loved math growing up. He's very good at it. The 2-0 pitch on the way to Carroll, taken for a strike. In fact, he was a surprise guest at 2 Math Moves U assemblies for middle school students. The goal was to encourage students in their math studies as a path to having exciting careers using math in their future. That's his favorite subject. The 2-1 pitch from Scott Kazmir is instead a throw to first, and back on the bag, Casey Blake. Well, 2-1, you would say, oh, sure, they're going to play hit and run, but of course you have the pitcher on deck. So let's see. Kazmir said as Eli waits, Blake off the bag and draws another throw. Napoli does not hold a corner on the runner. Napoli is off the bag a good 5 feet. He takes almost as much of a lead as Blake. Kazmir hands it his sides, looks over at first, just staring over there, now to the plate, and very high, ball 3. Looked like he made that pitch while looking over at first, and he missed by a lot. 3-1 the count. Kazmir's numbers coming in: 30 walks, 41 strikeouts, so that means he's fighting it. One big reason, I'm sure, why he's 5-5. 3-1 pitch coming up, and that's very high and outside, ball 4. So if nothing else, the 2 walks with 2 out gets the pitcher out of the way, and John Eli coming up. Eli with the bat is 1 for 15. He does have 3 sacrifices. That won't apply here. He has struck out 6 times. So Eli, 2 down, no score, second inning. Blake at second, Carroll at first. Napoli on the edge of the grass at first. Eli waiting. Kazmir set. Scott delivers. Fastball off the plate. Ball 1. 1-0. Kazmir hands together at the belt. Now Scott's 1-0 pitch to Eli. He backs away, but it's in for a strike. And the count 1-1. Eli got a huge bonus when he signed with the Mets. Pretty sure it was over $2 million. And the first thing he did was buy out the 23-year mortgage of his parents' home. The 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed. 1-2 the count. Scott just staring down the barrel, getting a sign from Wilson. And the 1-2 pitch coming up. The left-hander delivers inside. Eli had to get out of the way of a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. And the count 2-2. Waiting on deck, the leadoff man, Rafael Furcal. So deuce is wild here in the second inning. No score. And the 2-2 pitch is poked foul. It took a little something off that. And Scott was able to catch up, and if nothing else, foul it off to the right. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. No score in the second inning. Kazmir again ready. And the pitch to John Eli. Fastball is slapped foul into the stands off to the right. So John's still up there, if nothing else, making Kaz work. And remember, Kazmir made 24 pitches in the first inning. This is a 6-pitch at bat for John Eli. So 2-2. Count holding. Kazmir ready, looks at the runners. The pitch to Eli is outside, ball 3. So the Dodgers get a slight offensive edge. With 2 down, the runners will be going. Blake from second, Carroll from first. And Eli has made him work. This will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Left-hander ready. Runners go. Fastball waved at and missed. So down goes Eli. Dodgers lead 2. And at the end of 2, no score. Dodger Baseball on Prime Ticket is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Go to Jack in the Box to get a Soccer Jack antenna ball for only $1 plus tax. And by your Southern California Ford dealers, where you'll find the new Transit Connect. Check it out at scforddealers.com. Third inning, no score in the ball game. The Dodgers and the Angels. A reminder tomorrow, one more time, Carlos Monasterios against Jared Weaver. John Eli just about concluding his warm-ups. It'll be Bobby Wilson, followed by the pitcher Scott Kazmir, and then Eric Ibar. Wilson backing up for Mike Napoli in the absence of Jeff Mathis. Bobby's out of Dunedin, Florida, lives in Seminole, Florida, is an even 6 and checks in at 220. He was drafted by the Angels back in 2002, and 2 years ago, the end of April, he had his first major league at bat and had a base hit. And his dad had traveled all day from Florida to be at the game, and Bobby thoughtfully gave his dad the ball. So Wilson batting 192, right-hand batter, and the pitch to him is taken for a strike. Well, we know that Wilson singled in his first major league at. There's a story out of Boston tonight that's really exciting. The pitch is down and away, 1-1. Dan Neva, a youngster with the Boston Red Sox, came up as a pinch hitter with the bases loaded. The 1-1 pitch, a little bouncer by Eli, picked up by Carroll, who underhands in time to get Wilson. One away. Anyway, Dan Neva, N-A-V-A is his last name, came up to the plate at Fenway Park against the Phillies, bases loaded, swung at the first pitch, and hit a grand slam home run. I mean, somebody's going to have to break the news, son. From here on, it's down. One pitch and a grand slam home run. Meanwhile, here's Scott Kazmir, 1 for 11. Base hit was a couple of years ago. He takes a strike, and the count 0-1. No score. We're in the third. John Eli and Scott Kazmir going head-to-head right now. The next pitch inside. The left-hand pitcher bats the same way. So John Eli trying to take care of him with one away. Third inning, bases empty. Right-hander over the top fastball is swung on and missed. And the count 1-2. Kazmir back up and waiting. And Eli right back after him. Ground ball to the right side. Carroll is up with it nicely and throws him out. So Scott looked like he knows how to swing that bat. He had a pretty good cut. 2 down. And Eric Ibar coming up. You know, the Dodgers opening day outfield comes to life this year. A series of collectible action figures. The next giveaway game, Thursday, July 8th. The first 15,000 kids receive their own Captain Clutch, presented by Claim Jumper Restaurants. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com or call 866-DODGERS. 2 down, third inning, no score. Eric Ibar runs up the bunt, taps it out in front of the plate. A fine, hard throw by Eli in time to get him on a bang-bang play at first. And Mike Sosa is not going to let that go away. He's coming out to appeal with Mark Carlson, the first base umpire. A good bunt. And Eli had to throw as hard as he's done all night in order to get him. cigar. And we go to the bottom of the third, no score. Maloney can tell you how close it was. Meanwhile, for Call, first ball swinging, pops it up. A trio of Angels. It will be the shortstop, and that's Ibar going out to get it. Well, you can take another look at first, and you can see why Mike Scioscia was arguing. The foot appears to be on the bag, and the ball has not yet reached the glove. But just imagine, we spend millions of dollars for high-tech equipment to show you that, and just imagine the umpire, normal set of eyes, normal reflexes, and every now and then, maybe they come up short, but normally they do a tremendous job. So for Call is out. Here's Russell Martin, waves at a breaking ball. 0-1 the count. Third inning, no score. Meanwhile, the Padres are really settling in now. They're in the 8th inning. And Oscar Salazar just hit a 3-run home run. Cliff Lee is long gone. And the Padres lead the Mariners 7-1 in the bottom of the 8th. Martin, a big swing. Boy, is he taking some cuts against Kazmir. That's the second time it looked like Martin almost fell down. He is let down. Ball always staggers across home plate, and the foul ball took a little bite out of Bobby Wilson. No score in the third. Martin hitting .261. Hit a fly ball that dropped just into shallow right field despite the efforts of 3 Angels. Strike 2 pitch is swung on, fouled off. On the pop fly, Kendrick, Napoli, and Abreu all converged. It dropped in so-called no man's land for the hit. 0-2 the count. Kendrick plays on the rim. Abreu, both hands on his knees, and the strike 2 pitch is lined to left. Right in his tracks is Rivera to make the catch. So Martin hits that one hard, and isn't that the way this game is? They hit the ball right on the screws, it's at somebody. You hit a little fly ball, and it drops for a base hit. And with 2 down, Andre Ethier coming up. Third inning, no score. Kazmir, it had been with the Devil Rays, and when the Angels made a deal, that saved a lot of money for the Devil Rays. They saved about $24 million when they traded him away. Ethier takes outside ball 1. What did it do? Well, the $24 million that they saved with Kazmir allowed them to keep Carl Crawford. 1 ball and no strikes to Andre Ethier. Kazmir's 1-0 pitch on the way, and Andre takes a strike. Cute little story about Scott Kazmir. When he first started Class A, and his dad went to see him pitch, and his dad was hollering on every pitch, "Scott, throw the fastball, throw the fastball." Here's the 1-1 pitch to Ethier, and it's a little high ball too. At the end of the inning, when Scott got back into the dugout, his manager said, "Look, you got to tell your dad to pipe down. He's calling all your pitches, and he's messing with us right now. It's like he's for the other team." Scott said no matter where he pitched, whenever his father is in attendance, 50,000 or not, he can still hear his voice. 2-1 pitch. Ethier lays off one low and away, ball 3. I remember the great Don Drysdale for years, especially in the Coliseum. His dad would sit behind home plate, and any time that Don pitched where his arm was not in the slot it should be, his father would whistle. I believe Don's dad's name was Scott. Time for the moment, asked for by Ethier. 3-1 to count. So Kazmir staring down the barrel. 3-1 to count. Scotty turns, ready, here he comes, and he is low and away, ball 4. So the Dodger attack right now, 1 hit and 3 walks. For the Angels, they have 1 hit and 1 walk. And here comes Matt Kemp. Kemp hit in the number 2 slot last night and struck out twice, last 2 at-bats. Hit in the number 4 slot tonight against the left-hander and struck out the first time. So he has struck out 3 straight times. Kazmir delivers, and it's fouled away immediately, and the count 0-1. Kazmir basically fastball slider, and an 0-1 count to Matt Kemp. Another nice thing about Scott Kazmir, when he signed that big contract, he gave $10,000 to his high school for improvements on its baseball field. The next pitch fouled away. So all of a sudden it's like Matt Kemp inherits a no-ball 2-strike count. Bottom of the third, no score. Game 2 of the 3-game series. Dodgers will be in Anaheim starting on the 22nd of June. 0-2 the count to Matt Kemp. Kazmir ready. Left hand is staring over at first. Now to the plate. And this one is hit in the air. And moving over to his left, waiting for it to come down, is a Gold Glove, Torrey Hunter. End of story. So no runs, no hits, a man left. Kazmir wants to talk to the plate umpire, Jeff Nelson, and we'll be back. Brought to you by CarMax. Now, more than ever, the smart choice is CarMax. By Toyota. Get a great deal on Toyota's full line of hybrid and fuel-efficient vehicles at your Toyota dealers today. And by Corona. 4th inning, no score in the ball game. Howie Kendrick, followed by Bobby Abreu, and then Torrey Hunter. Each side, 1 hit. Howie Kendrick with 3 RBIs last night. 4th time he's had that kind of a game this year. So he's on a pace for 99 runs batted in, which indeed would be a career high. Wearing out the Dodgers, hitting .343 against them. 39 RBIs. And promptly hits it into the gap in right center. And that's going to go to the wall. Ethier over to pick it up. Kendrick steaming into second base with a stand-up double. For Howie, that would be his 14th double. So Eli promptly punished by Howie Kendrick. And that means Abreu, Hunter, and his tourist coming up, hungry for a run batted in. Abreu walked in the first inning. As we've mentioned, because it's fun to anticipate, he hardly ever swings at the first pitch. He only swung at 32% of all the pitches he saw last year. And wouldn't you know, gets his man over by doing the rare thing. Abreu swung at the first pitch. So 1 away. Hendrick over at third now. and trying to pick him up, Torrey Hunter. Abreu is such a knowledgeable hitter. I'm sure he went up there looking for a ball to pull to get his man over, and since he got it, he went after it, reputation or otherwise. Now Torrey Hunter hit into a force play in the first inning. Off to the races in June after an ice cold May. 9 home runs, 43 runs batted in, a strike. The infield is up. You know, the last 8 outs prior to Kendrick's double were all ground balls. So the last 9 outs have been ground balls, including Abreu. In the dirt, 1-1. Final score down south, Padres beat the Mariners 7-1. So for the moment, the Dodgers fall out of a first place tie. Eli checking, Hunter hitting .287. Fouled off, 1-2. Torrey last night had a walk and a single. He was hit by the pitch and then had the big bases clearing double in the 6th inning. Abreu last night had 2 RBIs, Hunter 3, and Matsui 4. 2-2. Infield up with the exception of Furcal. And a line drive down the left field line that cashes in Kendrick. And Torrey Hunter on his way into second base with a stand-up double. That would be his 21st double. So back-to-back doubles in the inning. 1-0 in favor of the Angels, and Torrey really went down to get that and hit it hard. So Kendrick doubles, Hunter doubles him in. Padres take the 1-0 lead. Remember, the Angels have found a home here. Many years ago, of course, they played here, but they've won 20 of the last 27 played at Dodger Stadium. Eli, big overhand 12-6 breaking ball, but it stayed up for ball 1. Meiser Izturis hitting .320 this year with men in scoring position. And he's up there with a runner at second, Torrey Hunter, and 1 out. 1-0 Angels in the 4th. That's pop foul, out of play. The Angels last night scored in the 3rd inning. The only Dodger run last night came in the 4th. One and 1 to Meiser. Izturis will be 30 in September. In breaking down the count when he is hitting, when he's ahead, he's hitting .357. When the pitcher is ahead, he's still hitting .304. His problem is when the count is even. We were talking about that last night. He's hitting .111. All right, the count is even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Izturis is also one of those hitters that does better with 1 out or 2 outs rather than none out. Even count, and it's hit in the air to left field. Johnson goes back, makes the count. So that holds up. That means he's hitting less than .111 when the count is even. The count. We just sit up and call it off the scoreboard, but it has so many meanings for so many people. And here's Juan Rivera. Rivera, a lot of power, 9 home runs, 27 runs batted in, and he can hit them out to all fields. big foul ball. 0-1. From Guarenas in Venezuela. 6'4", 225. He's a big man. No balls and 1 strike. He hit into a double play in the 2nd inning. 1-1. We're having a little trouble with the scoreboard. The count's wrong again. They had problems with it a lot last night. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Angels lead 1-0. Hunter doubled and Hendrick who doubled. And ball 2, 2-1. One thing about Kendrick, for instance, you go back and look, leading off with the double, and that thing's got started. Last night, Kendrick had 2 singles and a home run, so he's been quite a spark plug for the Angels. 2-1 to Rivera. Fouled away. Interesting thing, too, looking at Rivera, let's see if it holds up again this year. With 9 home runs, 27 runs batted in, he has only struck out 33 times. Napoli, for instance, 9 home runs, 25 runs batted in, and he struck out 61 times. 2-2. And whack to left. No doubt about it. Rivera has done it again. He hit it back into the Dodger bullpen. And just like that, the Angels lead 3-0. So Rivera, a big man with a lot of power, hits his 10th home run of the year. The 2 doubles in the home run. And the Angels punish John Eli. You know, the year that Rivera hit 23, he only struck out 59 times. And last year, when he hit 25 home runs, he only struck out 57 times. So he's dynamite. And he knew it. He could feel that thing in his arms right up to his shoulders as he hits it back in the Dodger bullpen. Now, remember, Eli had gone 50 innings before he gave up a home run. And that was to Martin Prado of Atlanta. So John now has been extra based, and it's 3-0 Angels. 2 double and a home run. For Eli, that's the 3rd home run that he's allowed. 3 runs, 4 hits for the Angels, no runs, 1 hit for the Dodgers. 2-1. So Kendrick started it with the double. With 1 out, Hunter doubled him home. And with 2 out, Rivera hits 1 into the Dodger bullpen. 3-1 the count to Mike Napoli. Bobby Wilson, the catcher, on deck. That's ball 4. Rick Honeycutt going out to see if he can fix it. And the batter will be Bobby Wilson. Juan Rivera, we mentioned, does not strike out. That's a dangerous combination for any pitcher, to face a hitter who doesn't strike out and who has a lot of power. In fact, in his entire career, Rivera has never struck out more than, I think it's 59 times, until you go all the way back to the low minors. And one year, he was just a baby then, he struck out 67 times. So he is a contact hitter. And, of course, that's the modern-day expression for a pitcher like John Eli. He doesn't walk people. He pitches to contact. Well, that contact tonight, 2 doubles and a home run. So Bobby Wilson grounded out in the 3rd inning, 0 for 1. Right. Bobby played with Casey Kochman in high school. Bobby was eventually signed by Casey's father, Tom Kochman, just before the 03 draft. Punch to the hole. Carroll is on it. Gets him. However, 2 doubles and a home run. That does the damage. The big blow by Juan Rivera. And at the end of 3 1/2, 3-0 Angels. The Angels leading the Dodgers 3-0. Big home run by Juan Rivera with a man aboard. And there were 2 doubles and the home run. So the Dodgers, John Eli has been punished a bit in the 4th. Meanwhile, the Dodger hitters have just 1 hit, and that was a pop fly single by Russell Martin. So Loney, Blake, and Johnson in that order. We told you that San Diego defeated the Mariners. We can also tell you the Rockies defeated Toronto 1-0. And we can tell you the Giants are leading the A's 5-3 in the 8th inning. That's a strike. The Giants began 2.5 back. Colorado 5 back. 0-1 to James Loney, hitting .289. In there. 5 home runs, 36 runs batted in. Kazmir throws so effortlessly to hit in the 90s with that fastball. Little breaking ball that time down the slider, 1-2. In the dirt, 2-2. For the Dodgers, they have a somewhat sobering thought about this weekend at home. They have enjoyed a very fine homestand. That's fouled away. Dodgers have won 8 of 11. A homestand that began with Arizona, followed by Atlanta and St. Louis, and now the Angels. But after Sunday, the Dodgers have only 3 games at home in the month of June, and those 3 are with the Yankees. Otherwise, it's Cincinnati, Boston, Anaheim, and San Francisco. 2-2. And that's sliced to left field, but Rivera's at the other end of it. On away. So the Dodgers have enjoyed a good stretch.
Third baseman number 23.
They're playing the 25th contest in a stretch where 20 of 26 have been played here, going back to the 17th of May. But that will end, and the Dodger record is 1 game under 500 on the road. Casey Blake walked in the second inning. Slow and in for a strike. That was in the 70s. No balls and 1 strike. Then the fastball jumps up there at 92. 1-1. Casey batting .262, 7 home runs, 27 runs batted in. In there, another fastball. Kazmir has struck out 4. He has walked 3, but he's allowed only 1 hit. That's pulled foul. That was off speed again in the 70s. So he started him that way, came back hard, and now came back off speed. The boy from Houston, Texas, Scott Kazmir. 2-2. Fastball and late on it. And of course, that's the problem for the hitter. You throw the off-speed stuff and you might pull that, and then you have trouble catching up to his fastball. 2-2 to Casey Blake. Fastball again. Coming into the game, Blake was 3 for 9 against Kazmir. And he walked in his only at bat in the second inning. Change. Hit slowly. Nice charge by his tourist to get him. Well, he really slowed up on him that time. 2 down. And the batter, Reed Johnson. A reminder, you can enjoy the excitement of Viva Los Dodgers every Sunday. The next fiesta is scheduled tomorrow, presented by State Farm, and the party begins at 11 a.m. with a pregame concert by Gustavo Galindo. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com or call 866-DODGERS. Reed Johnson popped up in the second inning. Manny Ramirez off tonight. Joe Torre was saying that during the course of a year, you try very hard to mix up giving guys days off. So Manny is fine, resting tonight. He'll be in the lineup tomorrow, which is a little different, isn't it? That's hit to dead center, and there's the Gold Glove at the other end. 9 straight Gold Gloves, for Torrey Hunt. 1, 2, 3 inning, and at the end of 4, 3-0 Angels. Fifth inning, a night and a weekend dedicated to Think Cure. Our goal is $400,000. As of right now, we've raised $313,528, so we are getting close. And remember all the ways you can donate. You can call 866-554-CURE. You can visit thinkcure.org, or you can text CURE 50555 and make an instant $10 donation. Into the fifth inning, and it will be Scott Kazmir, followed by Eric Ibar, and then Howie Kendrick. Kazmir grounded out crisply to Jamie Carroll in the third inning. 0-1. Haven't seen Kazmir play that much, but he certainly takes a pretty good cut at the ball. 0-1. 0-2. Off speed, a 70-mile-an-hour curveball, and Kazmir was just frozen. That's dirty fool to do that to a pitcher. It's up there, and it just drops in, and no chance. By the way, that strikeout is the first strikeout for John Eli. So here's Ibar, flied to left, bunted on a close play called out, and takes a strike. There have only been 2 fly balls to the outfield as Torres and Ibar hit fly balls to left, but there are also the 2 doubles and the home run by Rivera. 1-1 the count, Eric. 3-0 Angels in the fifth. And that's stroked into left field, base hit, Johnson over. So Ibar goes 1 for 3 with a leadoff single after Kazmir strikes out. And now here comes Howie Kendrick. And Kendrick has certainly been the spark. Howie last night had 2 singles and a home run. Tonight he has a double. 39 runs batted in. And a strike. Howie's having a great year. Among other things, he leads the Angels with a .329 batting average with runners in scoring position. The big struggle for him is on the road, although the Dodgers wouldn't recognize that. He's only hitting .219 on the road. 100 points higher than that at home. Kendrick looking down to Dino Ebel. Ibar at first, 1 out. That's off the plate. Eric Ibar over at first base has stolen 10 out of 15. Kendrick, meanwhile, with all of his good numbers, 5 home runs, 39 runs batted in, has only struck out 33 times. 1-1 to count. You know, one of the things that the Angels did last year, and it's the way Mike Scioscia plays baseball anyway, they would go from first to third more than any other club on base hits. Off the plate, ball 2, 2-1. I had the number on it just to establish what Scioscia does with his ball club. And they're going to play hit and run, and it's a fly ball to right field. Ethier a long way to come. He's not going to get there, and the ball lands fair. And running with the out is Ibar to score on a fly ball double to right. So they not only go first to third, they go first to home. And it's 4-0 Angels. Last year, Mike Scioscia's club went from first to third on a single 128 times. That was 20 more than any other major league team. I mean, he runs this club. And Ibar going all the way on Kendrick's double. So 4-0 Angels. They are extra basing the Dodgers. 3 doubles, a home run, and a single. So Kendrick picks up his 40th run batted in. 4-0. Not a ball thrown in the Dodger bullpen, not yet. Eli is due to bat second when the Dodgers hit in the bottom of the 5th inning. 4 runs, 6 hits for the Angels. Dodgers just a murmur of protest. 1 base hit. And that was a pop fly single into right field by Russell Martin. Bobby Abreu has walked, rounded out, and like he does most of the time, sure, took the first pitch. Kendrick with Raphael behind him trying to take a step away. Ball 2. So Kendrick has 2 doubles. Hunter has a double. Rivera has a home run. Ibar and Asturias have singles. And the pitch count is up to 70. 2-0. That's a strike. 2-1 to Bobby Abreu. I'm sure he misses Sean Figgins. He had 103 RBIs last night. 35 of them were scored by Sean Figgins. That meant in close study that no player drove in a single teammate more often. The only other hitter who equaled it, Mark Teixeira, drove in Derek Jeter 35 times last year. Now Ramon Troncoso gets up in the Dodger bullpen. And that's way up for ball 4. So John Eli, who at one time went 89 without giving a walk, has walked 3 tonight. He's down 4-0, being outpitched by Scott Kazmaier, and more trouble. Torrey Hunter hitting to a force play and doubles. So Honeycutt making yet another trip to the mound to the young troubled right-hander. Abreu at first, Kendrick at second, 1 run in. It was scoreless for 3. Angels got 3 in the 4th and 1 so far here in the 5th. And again, a reminder, San Diego won. Giants are winning. And the Dodgers in the middle, feeling the pressure both top and bottom. Interesting note on John Eli's performance tonight. The only 2 swings and misses have come against the opposing pitcher, Scott Kazmaier. Everybody else, if they swing, at least get a little of it, foul it off. So that's why he has only 1 strikeout. Ball 1. 2-3-6. The Angel lineup is delivering. 2-3-6. The Dodger lineup is still quiet like last night. 2-0 the count to Torrey Hunter. There's Turris on deck. First and second, Kendrick and Abreu. Time called by Jeff Nelson, the plate umpire. Eli trying to get out of the fifth inning. He lasted 5 against Atlanta. And now ball 3. He started pitching against the Mets, and he went at least 6. He went as much as 7 1/3. And then last time, 5 innings against Atlanta, and he is struggling to go 5 against the Angels. 3-0 pitch. They green light him. High fly ball in foul ground to Zethiel, and the runners hold. For Torrey Hunter to go 3-0 and hit it the other way, that's not a satisfactory at bat, I'm sure. And the batter will be Maisha Torres. Yeah, they green light you 3-0. You don't mind if they get you out of it. Take out rows of seats or send the left fielder to the wall. But 3-0, fly ball down the other line, not so good. His Torres single left, fly to left. That big overhand curveball. 1 ball and 1 strike. John had made 58 pitches through 4 innings. 4th inning he labored, he made 24. And he's laboring now. 2 on, 2 out, 1 in, 4-0 Angels. He misses ball 2. Eli struggling tonight, and you have Carlos Monasterios tomorrow afternoon, and Eli has now made 80 pitches. 2-1. And ball 3. On deck, Juan Rivera, who hit 1 into the Dodger bullpen, his last at bat. Ground ball up along first, foul. Alfredo Griffin, old pal, picking it up, making a big decision what to do with the ball. Still not sure. You always worry in this litigious society in which we live. Good-natured guy throw the ball in the stand, somebody get hurt, and the next thing you know, the legal process. Runners go, ground ball, foul. Foul ball. Still 3-2. Three and 2 to his Torres. Kendrick and Abreu ready to go. They're off and running. And it's pop foul, out of play. The Socia, who had a home here for so many glorious years, very much at home now, trying to make it 21 of 28 at Dodger Stadium. Runners go, strike 3 call. However, the Angels get 1, leave 2, and at the end of 4.5 innings, lead the Dodgers 4-0. performance by Scott Kazmir. Kazmir has allowed 1 hit, been a little bit wild. He's walked 3. Ronnie Belliard will bat for John Eli, so it'll be Carroll, Belliard, and Furcall trying to break the spell. And ball 1. One and 0. Carroll walked in the second inning. That's right. Outfield shaded around the right. They don't expect Carroll to pull the ball. Though Rivera is way over. Hunter is up a little. And Abreu is up in right. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball 2. Kazmir with 3 walks. Line drive, and there's nobody there. Rivera was overshifted. That will roll to the bullpen gate. Carroll is into second, and he will hold on. So Jamie Carroll doubles to left field. The Angels did not think Jamie could pull Kazmir, but pull him he did. And Rivera had to go and get it. So now Ronnie Belliard will be coming up. With Carroll at second, nobody out, and Rafael Furcall on deck as the Dodgers try to get John Eli, who has been buried under 4 runs. Dig him out. You know, starting this inning, Scott Kazmir had made 74 pitches. And it's interesting what has happened to him from 76 pitches on so far this year, anyway. Ball 2. From 76 to 100 pitches, the hitters are batting .327 against him. So Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, who knows all about it, keeping his eye on that talented left-hander. Two 2-0 to Ronnie Belliard, batting .280 with a home run and 12 runs batted in. And ball 3. We told you going into the game, you could tell that Kazmir was fighting at 30 walks, 41 strikeouts. One reason why he's 5-5. 3-0 to Belliard. Right. Tonight, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks. Struck out the side in the first inning. And Rafael Furcall waiting. And another strike. Come back, Ronnie. 3-2. Belliard, as a pinch hitter, has 4 hits, 4 for 18. Now back. So Kazmir gives up the double to Carroll, goes all the way to Belliard as the Dodgers try to get up off the floor. Down 4-0. They have only 1 hit to show for it. Another foul ball into and out of the Angel dugout. Three and 2. Fouled away. Belliard very close in walks and strikeouts. He has struck out 13 times this year, but he's walked 11. Ronnie with a home run, 12 runs batted in. Three and two. Kazmir now has gotten into the 80 pitch area. And fly ball to right field. Shallow right, but Abreu has the play. Carroll just draws a throw, if nothing else, hoping maybe it'll get away. So Belliard a fly ball to right, one away. Before for call, we have a little trivia question for you. Angels pitcher Joel Pinheiro scored 3 runs last night. Which ex-Dodger outfielder shares the National League record with 6 runs scored in a game? You're right. Sean Green. That's just right. For call, it struck out, popped up, 0 for 2. Giants hanging on. They're leading Oakland 5-4 in the 9th inning. And hammered but foul. Bacall has 1 home run this year, and he hit it left-handed. 0-2. Four runs, 6 hits for the Angels, no runs, 2 hits for the Dodgers. One and two. Duck in a couple of scores. The Rockies held on, beat Toronto 1-0, and the Giants held on to beat the A's 5-4. Barry Zito went 7, and he's now 7-2. Foul back. Pablo Sandoval homered for the Giants. They got a save out of Brian Wilson. So the Giants win. So the Dodgers are in the middle. Padres won. Giants started 2.5 back, and the Dodgers could fall to 1 back. 1-2. Almost got him with that 90-mile-an-hour fastball. 2-2. Waiting on deck, Russell Martin. Fastball. Basically, fastball and slider is what we've seen all night. Some of the breaking balls would go, let's say, from a 93-mile-an-hour fastball to a 78 breaking ball. 2-2. Check swing. 3-2 the count. Martin waits. 1 out. 5th inning. 4-0 Angels. Carroll opened up with a double. He's still there. So he really missed with that fastball. And the Dodgers now have runners at first and second with 1 out. Kazmir has now balanced his books, but that's not good enough for Mike Butcher, the pitching coach going out there. Scott has walked 4 while striking out 4. And Russell Martin, who has singled and lined out to left, will be coming up. Again, Martin's single was just a fly ball that dropped inside the right field line. The out was a hard hit line drive right at Juan Rivera. Other thing about Kazmir, his pitch count now is up to 95, and remember we told you from 76 to 100 that's been a weak spot for him, and sure enough he's had a walk and a double. The other thing that has tired out Kazmir and has been a factor to a degree, of the 95 pitches, 20 have been foul balls. So here is Martin, 4 home runs, 13 runs batted in, hitting .260. And ball 1. On deck, Andre Ethier. One and 0. Fastball hit to the gap in right center. It is going to drop. Running with the out. Both men will score. Here comes the throw to the plate. Scoring is for Call. And the Dodgers get back into the game on a double by Russell Martin. It's 4-2 Angels. Martin finds the gap in right center. No chance for Hunter or Abreu. Angels got the relay back in, but both Ball and Carroll scored with 1 out. And now the batter is Andre Ethier. Though Martin picks up 2 RBIs, Ethier has struck out and walked. They are moving around now in the Angel bullpen. And in a moment, they'll get somebody up. Ball 1. We mentioned way back at the start of the game that left-handers have hurt Kazmir as Francisco Rodriguez begins to throw back on him. Dodgers have 2 left-hand hitters, Ethier and Loney. Loney 0 for 2, Ethier 0 for 1. Whoa, 1-1. That sweet swing on a good riding 93-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-1. Four to 2 Angels, only in the 5th inning. Two and one. That slider. Well, you talk about full extension. When he throws that slider, it seems like he holds on the ball to beyond the last second possible. And a line drive, but Abreu is at the other end of it. Tagging up is Martin, and he will get over the third. And once again, Andre Ethier hits the ball right on the button. It's been going on since he came back, but he hit that right at Abreu's nose. 2 down. Matt Kemp has been conspicuous by his absence. Last night 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Tonight 0 for 2 with a strikeout. For Kazmir, tough inning. The first pitch to Matt Kemp will be his 28th of the inning. And a strike. Slider. Nat's been pretty much behind in the count throughout the series. And that's a strike. The slider, and the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Martin at third. 2 out. 4-2 Angels. Kazmir, well over 100 pitches now. 4-1. In the inning, Carroll doubled with 1 out for a call walk. Martin doubled to right center to drive in 2. Ethier hit a bullet right into the glove of Bobby Abreu. 1-2 the count to Matt Kemp. You think Kemp has power? All you have to do is look at Bobby Abreu in right field. I mean, you can understand a right-hand hitter in the left field is deep, but Abreu has about 6 to 8 feet of grass behind him before the track. 2-2. And down he goes on a changeup, down and away. 4 times in the 2 games, Matt Kemp has struck out. Dodgers get 2. It's 4-2 Angels. Minnesota, Hee-Sop Choi, remember? Hit 3 home runs that day. On a quiet night in the winter, you might still hear the chant, Hee-Sop Choi. He hit 6 home runs in 3 games, 1 burst of brilliance, then disappeared from the scene. Where is he? He's back in South Korea, and he's playing from the Kia Tigers. Yep, he's still at it, and I'm sure over there they're chanting Hee-Sop Choi. Let's go back to this one.
Hitting up the 6th inning for the Angels, left fielder number 20, Juan Rivera.
We're heading to the 6th inning. Ramon Troncoso picking up now for John Eli, and the first man he faces is Juan Rivera. Rivera is now the difference in the game. That monstrous 2-run home run he hit in the 4th inning. 4-2 Angels, top of the 6th. Curveball whacked into left field, and Reed Johnson there to meet it. So Rivera jumped all over that curveball. Lines out.
Number 44, first baseman.
1 away, and Mike Napoli coming up. Catcher, first baseman, grounded out and walked. Six games at first base. You would expect, a third baseman can play first. Short and second, they can play anywhere. Outfielders can play. But for a stationary player, if you want to think of a catcher as a stationary player, It takes a lot of work to suddenly use the footwork needed by a first baseman. That's a tough job for Mike Napoli. Fouled away. Plus, of course, all of the others field balls hit at them. As a first baseman, he has to join the group of fielding balls hit at him, where he's only accustomed to catching pitches. So that's got to be a very difficult transition. Catcher to first. Fouled away. Kazmir got through the fifth inning, but boy, he labored. Scott made 32 pitches in the fifth inning, so he's now made 106, but he's made it this far. From here on, I guess you'd say he's got to be a little questionable. Ball one. Troncoso with a 1-1 record. He has certainly been a workhorse. He's been in 31 games. Dodgers have played 61. Today 62. So Troncoso's been in half of them. 2-2 to Mike Napoli. Ball three. Napoli followed by the catcher, Bobby Wilson. Napoli has 15 career hits against the Dodgers. 5 of them are home runs. And this time he hits a flare into center for a base hit. So Rivera hits a line drive out. Napoli a flare single. And Bobby Wilson coming up. Mike Ryan, who finished up in the outfield last night in left field. Mike Ryan comes out on deck. So we wondered about Kazmir coming off a 32-pitch inning as to how much longer. And the answer is not any longer. But he goes out leading 4-2 and having gone the required 5. Wilson twice playing pepper with Jamie Carroll at second base. Oh and 1. Foul tipped. 0-2. Hard ground ball to third. Blake down to second. Carroll turns it to first. So the Dodgers turned the double play. They had one back in the second inning. And at the end of 5.5 innings, 4-2 Angels. time to use the freeze cam, and look at the power uncorked on that bat and swing of Juan Rivera as he buries one to the back of the Dodger bullpen. So Rivera touches them all, and that home run with a man aboard is now the difference. So 4-2 in favor of the Angels. They have 4 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. And the Dodgers 2 runs, 3 hits, and no errors. For Francisco Rodriguez, only been in 6 games this year. And then looking at his numbers, in the 6 games, 7 1/3 innings, 3 hits, nothing else, and 9 strikeouts, no walks. Rodriguez from Mexicali. He's a right-hander all the way, 6'1", 195. Signed in December, the day after Christmas in 05. James Loney. And he probably whacks it to right, and Abreu was there. So the last 2 balls hit to right field have been hit hard, but right at Abreu. So 1 out. And the batter will be Casey Blake, who walked and grounded to third. Francisco Rodriguez, one of those boys who was a non-roster player in spring training and has scrambled and finally made it to the big leagues. He's retired 22 of the first 26 batters he's faced. They called him up the last week in May from Salt Lake. In fact, when they called him up, he had a 13 scoreless inning streak going there. 1-1 to count. Casey Blake walked and grounded to third. Started the double play on that hard hit ground ball by Bobby Wilson. And on deck, Reed Johnson. Fouled at the plate. Scott Kazmir went the required 5 to get a win, perhaps. Allowed 2 runs, 3 hits, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. 2-2. But he weakened right on schedule when he got to that pitch count between 76 and 100. 2 doubles and a walk. And Mike Scioscia well aware of it. 2-2. Check swing. They're going to ring him up. So Blake goes down. So for Francisco Rodriguez, 10 strikeouts now. No walks, and Reed Johnson. Well, you're pretty good if you can reach down in the pen and come up with a guy out of Salt Lake. 10 strikeouts, no walks. Reed Johnson has popped up, fly to center, 0 for 2. And a strike. Pretty good slider. He throws that hard. He's from Mexicali, and he still lives there. 0-1. And that's hit down the right field line. Slicing in pursuit is Abreu. Can't make it. No balls and 2 strikes. So Bobby going back to his position. Johnson ready to hit. Rodriguez must have grown that beard while he was in Salt Lake City. There's the picture of him in the Angel press guide. He is clean shaven, but of course he looks more menacing with that cap pulled down over his brow and the beard. 0-2. Pop foul, out of play. 4 runs, 7 hits for the Angels, 2 runs, 3 hits for the Dodgers. In the 4th inning, the Angels scored 3. Kendrick doubled, Hunter doubled him in, and Rivera hit a 2-run home run. And then Ibar singled in the 5th, and Kendrick doubled him in for the Angel 4. Dodgers came back with 2 of their own in the 5th against a tiring Kazmir. That's foul tipped, and down he goes. So that's 11 strikeouts in about 8 innings. And it's Angels 4, Dodgers 2. Got a double into right field. That scored Ibar to make it 4-0 Angels. But Russell Martin doubled to the gap in right center, scoring for Call and Carroll. And the Dodgers got back into the game. They were stopped cold, however, in the 6th inning. So now, in the 7th, Mike Ryan, an outfielder, will bat for Rodriguez, then Ibar and Kendrick. That's a strike. Ryan finished up in left field last night. Mike has only started 8 games, and he has hit safely in 6 of them, but he's retired as the pinch hitter, and we have 1 out here in the 7th inning.
Shortstop, number 2, Eric Ibar.
Eric Ibar, fly to left, was thrown out on a close play on a good bunt, and single to left, scored a run. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 7th, they have Jamie Carroll, then Troncoso Spot, and Furcal. And a strike, 0-1. Ibar hitting .275, 1 home run, 13 runs batted in. Fouled away. For the Angels, this is their 65th game. Ibar has played in 62 of the 65. Socha will do what Torrey does during the course of a long year. He'll give everybody a couple of days off. Did he? No swing. 1-2. Ibar is only 26. From the Dominican. 2-2. So Ramon Troncoso in relief of John Eli, who gave up 4. Dodgers have come back with 2 against Kazmir. And the game now in the hands of the bullpen. And in the Dodger bullpen, George Sherrill begins to loosen up. Got him. So Ibar caught looking. Down he goes. 2 out in the 7th inning. And the batter will be Howie Kendrick.
Second baseman, number 47, Howie Kendrick.
Howie Kendrick, 2 doubles tonight. Last night he had 2 singles and a home run. Hitting .267. That's a strike. Howie 5 home runs, 40 runs batted in. Just missed inside. Howie Kendrick, a Floridian who moved over to Phoenix. 10th round pick by the Angels. 1-1. One and two. Last year, Howie Kendrick swung at about 47% of the pitches. The year before, in fact, his first 3 years in the league, he had swung at least 52%. So a sign of maturity certainly at the plate. 1-2. 2-2. For Howie, he was raised by a grandmother. His parents were both in the service in the Army. His mom was an Army staff sergeant, too. 2-2. Ground ball to Furcal. 3 outs. Right now, as we go to the middle of the 7th inning, the crowd has to stand for God Bless America and then take me out to the ball game.
Ladies
The bottom of the seventh. Angels 4, Dodgers 2, and it'll be Kevin Jepson coming out of the Angel bullpen. Kevin was born in Anaheim and lives over in Sparks, Nevada. Went to Bishop Montague High School in Sparks. Drafted by the Angels in the second round in 2002. Kevin will be 26 in July. And ball one to Jamie Carroll. Garrett Anderson is on deck to bat for Troncoso. Carroll has walked and doubled. Off the plate, 2-0. Jamie trying to be the spark plug and doing a great job of it. Led off with the double in the fifth inning, ignited 2 runs. And ball 3. Jepson is a big boy, 6'3", 210-pounder. Born in the shadow of Angel Stadium. He was a parking lot attendant at then Anaheim Stadium, 3-1. His grandmom, Judy, sold parking lot tickets. Her daughter walked as an usher. So, I mean, you talk about your career laid out in front of you, and here he is. And he walks Jamie Carroll. And that will bring up one of the great names in Angel history, now wearing the blue, Garrett Anderson.
Bench place for the Dodgers. Pinch hitting, number 9, Garrett Anderson.
So Garrett Anderson, who had a magnificent career with the Angels coming up. He was originally signed by the Angels in 1990 out of Kennedy High School. He was born here in Los Angeles and lives in Granada Hills and made it to the Angels way back in 1994. And he was with them from 94 through 08. Last year with the Braves, and here he is. Growing up, his family moved 11 times throughout the Los Angeles area. So you have two boys who life just seems to work out. Jepson with the Angels and Anderson with the Dodgers. And ball 1. Belisario warming up in the Dodger bullpen. 4 runs, 7 hits for the Angels. 2 runs, 3 hits. Hung-Chi Kuo now gets up in the pen as well. Ball 2. So Jepson walking Carroll and falling behind 2-0 to Garrett Anderson. By bringing in a right-hander, of course, it turns for Call around, and he's on deck to bat left-handed. 2-0. And that's going to be hit into center field. Base hit. Stopping at second is Carroll. So the tying runs are aboard, nobody out. Garrett Anderson, a base hit against the Angels. Something strange about saying that.
The Dodgers number 50, Rafael Furcal.
So now here comes Furcal as we take another look at that swing of Garrett. Carroll holding his ground. Rafael Furcal struck out, popped up, and walked. Those at-bats, he was hitting right-handed. Now, a lot of things going on here. He's a far better hitter left-handed. However, you have the tying runs aboard, and if you're Torrey, do you have him bunt? He shows bunt in the air. Foul. It will drop untouched off the screen. Rafael Furcal has only one sacrifice, and he's checking the Boa to see if it's on again. Russell Martin and then Andre Ethier. Dodgers threatening, down 4-2 in the 7th. Bunts in the air again, caught this time by his turret. So Rafael Furcal unable to get that fastball down. If you wonder why, well, it was 95 miles an hour. Pretty tough to get that thing down on the earth. Russell Martin coming up. Had a big blow to revitalize the Dodgers in the 5th inning. He hit one to the gap in right center against Scott Kazmir, and 2 runs scored. Kazmir had to leave at the end of 5, and the Dodgers got back into the game. So Furcal pops the sacrifice up. Big play. Now Martin, single to right, lined out to left and double. And ball 1. Interesting to compare the two teams in admittedly a very small area that no one talks about. But how about sacrifices? I mean, that was a big turn of events. Torrey having Furcal try to sacrifice. The Dodgers have sacrificed 37 times. The Angels, 15. Big difference. 1-1 to Martin. And that's inside, ball 2. Andre Ethier on deck. Two and 1. And a check. Ball 3. The Jepson walked Carroll, gave up the single to Anderson. Furcal popped up the bunt. Now 3-1 on Martin, and Ethier waiting, and the family doing some cheering. And ball 4 to load him up. And for Ethier.
Number 16, Andre Ethier.
Andre Ethier against Scott Kazmir struck out, walked, and almost broke the ball. He hit it so hard in the 5th inning, but he hit it right at Bobby Abreu. So now here he is with the bases loaded and 1 out. 4-2 Angels. Carroll at third. Anderson the tying run at second. Martin at first. Ethier, 2 slams, both of them this year. And ball 1. Ethier had a grand slam in April. He had a grand slam in May. Jamie Carroll at third. Garrett Anderson is the tying run at second. Russell Martin at first. 1-0. Fastball fouled away upstairs off third. I tell you, Jepson throwing hard. 95, 96. Got a curveball and a changeup, plus a cutter. Mike Butcher pretty much showed him the grip on the cutter. Figure he'd use that against a left-hand hitter especially. 1-1. Fastball fouled away. Jepson has been clocked at 99. And I mean, he's throwing smoke. Jepson made his major league debut. All he did was retire Derek Jeter, Bobby Abreu, and Alex Rodriguez in order. 1-2. And popped in the air foul. Mike Napoli coming over, but no play. First row hits the edge of the dugout. Kangaroos back in about 15 rows. 1-2 to Andre Ethier. 1 out, bases loaded. 4-2 Angels, and Matt Kemp on deck. Carroll, Anderson, and Martin. At his feet, nice save by Bobby Wilson. That could have been a wild pitch. Talking about wild pitches, since Jepson throws so hard, he has 3 wild pitches. So a lot of pressure on Bobby Wilson. Two and two. Fastball clocked at 97, in on the hands, and he gets Ethier. Take a look at the pitches. Started him with a high fastball, but I mean, look at the meter. 95, 96, 80, 95. See you later. So Ethier strikes out for the second time tonight. And now Matt Kemp. And he hits a slow ground ball to third. Force play, that's the inning. So the Dodgers really blow a golden opportunity, or look at it the other way. A great bit of clutch pitching by Kevin Jepson. Take your pick. It's 4-2 Angels. For $400,000, we have now reached $315,108. Don't forget the ways to reach us for your donation. You can call 866-554-CURE. You can visit us on thinkcure.org, or you can text CURE to 50555 to make an instant $10 donation. So one way or the other, hope you'll join in as we go to the 8th inning, and Ronald Belisario will pick up. Belisario followed John Eli, who started, then Ramon Troncoso. And Belisario will be facing Abreu, Hunter, and Izturis. Bobby Abreu has walked twice, grounded out. He is 0 for 1. And Torrey Hunter on deck. Abreu hitting .257 and takes a strike. The one time he swung at the first pitch, that was in the 4th inning with Kendrick at second base and nobody out. He got a pitch he knew he could turn on and pull, and did, and got his man over to third. Otherwise, very, very selective. 1-1. Troncoso throwing hard. He comes out of the pen. 4-2 Angels, 8th inning. Check. Ball 2. The Angels are 2-2 against the National League so far this year. Last year, they were 14-4 against the National League. The Dodgers are 2-2 this year against the American League. Ball 3. Belisario, 11 walks, 18 strikeouts, trying to keep the ball on top of Abreu. 3-1. Little ground ball, Jamie Carroll. Oh, one away in the 8th inning. A reminder tomorrow, Jared Weaver and Carlos Monasterios. Then the Dodgers go on a road trip, and when they leave Boston, they're heading for Anaheim for another 3 with the Angels. Hunter hit into a force play, doubled in a run, flied to right, and was aboard when Juan Rivera hit one out of sight. Torrey hitting .289, 9 home runs, 44 runs batted in. Oh, and 2. Fastball just low. That was 97. Wow. With Jepson and Belisario, see some smoke here. Ground ball to the left of Furcal. 2 down. We have the paid attendance, and it's a whopper. 52,806. Last night, 52,407. So over 105,000 for 2 games, and they are seeing a dandy tonight. Tomorrow, the concluding game, 1 o'clock. Hope you'll join us in person if you can. Jared Weaver, Carlos Monasterio. That's a strike to his tourist. Meiser single to left, fly to left, struck out, 1 for 3. In there, 0-2. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 8th, Loney, Blake, and Johnson, and among others sitting in the dugout, Manny Rodriguez. Ramirez has not played. This was going to be his night off. There you can see pitcher's row, but there's Manny. One and 2. Fouled away. .470 for the Angels, 2.40 for the Dodgers, who had that golden opportunity get away in the 7th inning. So a 1-2-3 inning for Ronald Belisario, and we go to the bottom of the 8th, 4-2 Angels. the bottom line is really a key to the Dodgers, why they lost last night and why they're losing tonight. They are 1 for 13 in the series with men in scoring position. They are 1 for 8 in tonight's game. So James Loney will lead it off. And, of course, the Dodgers needed Loney to get on the scoreboard last night. James came up in the 4th inning with 1 out and hit a home run over the right field scoreboard. He's hitting .287 with 5 home runs, 36 runs batted in. He's 0 for 3 tonight, and the last time up hit the ball hard and lined out to Bobby Abreu. Fernando Rodney out of the Dominican Republic, 5'11", about 218, and 29 years old, originally signed by the Tigers. And ball 1. Now he starts him with a changeup. That is a direct different style after watching Kevin Jepson throw 97. That drops in nicely, 1-1, and 2 changeups. Rodney with the Tigers from 2002 through last year. Foul back, 1-2 the count. One of the things when he was in the minor leagues, in the Gulf Coast League, he said, every time I work out, I hear eagles screeching. And he came up with his own imitation of an eagle screeching, and that's been one of his trademarks throughout baseball. Fouled away. Also, if we can see it on his glove, he lost his dad a few years ago, and somewhere on that glove is his dad's name. Maybe not so it can be seen exactly in public. His father's name, Ulysses, U-L-I-S-E-S. And he had that on his glove for years. And ground ball, little English on it. 1 away. So 1 out in the 8th inning, and Casey Blake coming up. Casey Blake has walked, grounded out, struck out, 0 for 2. Pretty good fastball at the hands, ball 1. Another thing they tell you, can't see it, but they say inside Rodney's cap is a picture of his young son, Fernando Jr., who'd be about 4.5 now. 2-0 the count. He is interesting when you read about his background. He once saved 3 bags of hair and gave to his mom after he had a haircut in Baltimore. Little ground ball. 2 down.
For the Dodgers, left fielder, number 5, Reed Johnson.
I'm just reading things that you won't read about. One other thing about Rodney, last year he wore such a lethal-looking tooth around his neck that the team worried he might accidentally stab himself with it, so eventually got the hint, and he stopped wearing it while in uniform. Okay. Long in the tooth. Fernando Rodney. And a strike to Reed Johnson. 2 out in the 8th. Angels 4, Dodgers 2. Maybe the most modest sentence after everything we've told you about, it says Fernando is a bit of character. Drive to center, but coming up forward is Torrey Hunter, and it's a 1-2-3 8th inning. And down go the Dodgers at the hand of Fernando Rodney. And at the end of 8, 4-2 Angels. Go to the 9th inning with the Angels leading the Dodgers 4-2. It's been John Eli, then Ramon Troncoso, and now Belisario, who retired the side in order in the 8th inning. Juan Rivera hit into a double play, hit a 2-run home run, and lined out to left. 1-for-3. Rivera with 10 home runs, 29 runs batted in, despite a low average of 238. Rivera, as we told you, only 33 strikeouts, and with 10 home runs, 29 RBIs, that's not bad at all. Oh, and 1. Jared Weaver and Carlos Monasterios tomorrow afternoon. Dodgers then go on the road, Cincinnati, Boston, and then Anaheim. And of course, a lot of people wondering about Manny Ramirez returning to Boston. How will they treat him? Will they remember all the good years, the World Series, his contributions, and cheer him? Will they remember that he left Boston? Will they boo him? That will certainly be a major portion going into the game. Oh, and 2 to Juan Rivera. Giants 1, Padres 1, and the Dodgers in the middle. One and 2. When the Dodgers come up in the 9th inning, they are due to have Jamie Carroll, then a hitter for Belisario, and Rafael Furcal. Dodgers on the bench, Manny, Blake DeWitt, and A.J. Ellis. Meanwhile, Rivera comes up with a base hit and goes 2 for 4. Hit number 1 against Belisario. Hit number 8 for the Angels.
First baseman Mike Napoli.
Mike Napoli grounded to second, walked, and singled to center. This could be Napoli's last appearance in the game. in the sense he is a catcher playing his 6th game at first base. And it could be that Mike would put Rob Quinlan over there. He has Brian Fuentes getting ready in the bullpen. 1-1 the count to Mike Napoli. Napoli, playing first base, has caught a lot of throws from his shortstop, third baseman, etc. Looking in the scorebook, I don't believe he has had a chance to field a ground ball. 1-2. Fouled away. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Still 1-2 to Mike. On deck, Bobby Wilson, the catcher. Eli, Troncoso, and Belisario. Casimir, Rodriguez, Jebsen, and Rodney for the Angels. Fastball got him. So Napoli strikes out. That would be a strikeout for Belisario, number 2. And with 1 out, the batter is Bobby Wilson. And out on deck, Kevin Franson. He would bat for Rodney. Wilson, 2 ground balls, and then last time up, grounded hard to Casey Blake, who started a double play. Ball 1. Bobby 0 for 3, hitting 172. Runner going, hit and run chopper slowly for a call. Good pick, throws to get him. Nice play by Rafael Furcal. Rivera moves into second. Boy, on a dead run, and Rafael has to go down to get it and then throw accurately. Nice play. And now Hideki Matsui, on his birthday, will come up and bat, and not Kevin Franson. 36 years old today. There was a big birthday cake in his honor. And here comes Hideki. Last night, he started in left field and had a key double to drive in 3. Eight years in the major leagues. What a difference. And let's see what they're going to do. They're going to take the bat right out of Matsui's hand and walk him intentionally. The big difference between the Angels and the Dodgers could easily be looked at in the runners in scoring position. For Mike Scioscia, his club is hitting .333, 7 for 21. The Dodgers 1 for 13, a very sorry .077 batting average. So they opted to hopefully set up for them a force play or whatever. 2 on, 2 out, and Eric Ibar coming up. Ibar fly to left, tried to bunt his way aboard, close play, single to left and struck out, so he's 1 for 4. And hitting back of him, a very tough number 2 hitter, Howie Kendrick. Strike. 0-1. Single by Rivera, 2 outs later. After the hit and run play, they walk Matsui. Foul back. That got something of Russell Martin. Got him on the right hand. The timeout, like they do forever. The plate umpire cleans off home plate. Thought he had that right hand hidden, but that ball found him. See the right hand behind the shin guard? Now watch what happened. Got the fingers just peeking around the shin guard. Wouldn't you know? I mean, you think your hand is protected. Got nailed. 0-2. Fouled away. 52,806. Sitting in on a good ball game. Scoreless for 3. Angels led 3-0, 4-0. Dodgers got 2 back, 4-2. They've had opportunities, a golden one in the 7th inning, and the Dodgers let it get away thanks to some clutch pitching. Rodriguez, Jepson, and Rodney. Starters are the pitchers of record, Kazmir and Eli. Little roller up along third. Tough play for Blake. Can't make any play, and the bases are loaded. So Ibar just chops one up along third. Casey really didn't have a play.
Batting next for 47, Owen Kendrick.
Couldn't let the ball roll. Couldn't throw it. And the bases are loaded. So Ibar at first, Matsui at second, Rivera at third, and Belisario has to get Howie Kendrick. Grounded to short, doubled in the 4th, doubled in the 5th, grounded out. 2 for 4, scored 1 and knocked 1 in with the bases loaded. Strike. Kendrick, no slams in his young career. That first pitch was 97. 0-1. And a high bouncer to Furcal. He has to go to first and gets him. So no runs, 2 hits, 3 left. And here we go, bottom of the 9th inning, 4-2 Angels. Who has 8 saves this year with a record of 3-1. His earned run average kind of jumps out at you, 5.5, and he has saved 8 of 11. But of course, he is someone who really knows his way around. Last year, 48 saves, and the Dodgers saw him for years. He was with the Rockies from 02 through 08. 7 seasons. Brian from Merced, and basically a first baseman outfielder throughout his youth. Then he picked up by watching his dad's traveling police softball team, and that lit the fire for his passion for baseball. Originally, he was drafted by the Seattle Mariners in 1995. He went to Merced Junior College. With the name Fuentes, he had that nickname Tito because of the infielder who played with the Giants, Tito Fuentes. And he'll be facing Jamie Carroll to start the 9th inning. Carroll walked twice and doubled. Now for Jamie Carroll, the big thing is to get aboard. If he gets aboard, the Dodgers then play their strongest card left in the pack, Manny Ramirez. 1-0 in there. As a closer, you have to throw strikes. And for Brian Fuentes, he has walked 6, struck out 19, a little better than 3-1. That's not Broxton, who has walked 3 and struck out 42, but it'll do. Off speed and missed. Brian is 6'4", 230, and he'll be 35 years old. 2-1 to Jamie Carroll. And a fly ball to left field. Coming up for it, Rivera to put it away. So that diminishes any effect Manny Ramirez could have as far as tying up the game. But here he comes. Manny Ramirez, as you probably know, has not been hitting very well at all since coming back from the bad leg. And as a pinch hitter, he is 1 for 8. That was a home run. And ball 1. With Brian Fuentes, Ramirez is just 0 for 1. He struck out. On deck, Rafael Furcal. Oh, yeah, the excitement of a child. Fouled away. 1-1. And he's struggling with his timing. He's hitting .209 since returning from the disabled list. He missed 14 games with that strain of the right calf. 1-1. And popped up on the infield. A gathering. It'll be the shortstop, Ibar. So Manny pops it up, 2 down. And the batter will be Rafael Furcal. The Dodgers are 1 out from moving day because San Diego won, a Dodger loss, and they'll fall out of first place. The Giants won, so they'll remain 2.5 back, but they'll be a game and a half behind the Dodgers. Final game of the series and of this homestand tomorrow. Jared Weaver and Carlos Monasterio. That's a strike. Another advantage with Mike Scioscia bringing in his left-hander to close. That turns for call around. And, of course, Rafael much weaker as a right-handed batter. One and one. Fouled away, so the Dodgers now down to their last strike. But James Loney A long 0 for 4, representing the frustration of the Dodgers. Casey Blake. The big play did not involve either one of them, however. The Dodgers had the bases loaded in the 7th with 1 out. And Andre Ethier struck out. Matt Kemp hit into a force play, and that was that. 2-2. Dodgers have had a very bad series hitting with runners in scoring position. The Angels, directly contrasted to that, have done very well in that spot. 2-2. Fouled away. The Angels 8 for 22. That's a .364 batting average. Juan Rivera has provided the home run. The Dodgers are 1 for 13 with runners in scoring position in the series. That's a batting average of .077. Thereby hangs the tail. And that's going to be sliced into right center. Base hit. Torrey Halleck cuts it off, but he's in an awkward position. So Fakal goes into second base. And the Dodgers still alive. One more runner in scoring position, and Russell Martin will be coming up. So Fakal goes down to get it and doubles. So Raphael 1 for 4 with a walk. Martin has a fly ball single to right, lined out to left, double to right center to drive in the Dodgers 2 runs and walk last time up. And a strike. And now meeting Bobby Wilson and Brian Fuentes. I thought he said just before he put his glove up, I thought he said, "I can't see." And then he put the glove up to his face, so I'm not sure. Maybe looking in, he couldn't read Bobby Wilson's sign. 0-1. 0-2. All night, Russell Martin has really been swinging hard. For a call at second, 2 out, 4-2 Angels, bottom of the 9th. One and 2. Weaver, Monasterios tomorrow. So Martin strikes out. Dodgers lead yet another in scoring position. They're now 1 for 14 in the series as the Angels win it 4-2. Stay tuned for Dodgers Live coming up next. Weaver and Monasterios tomorrow. Till then, good night, everybody.
Your hosts Ken Levine and John Sushan will recap the action.